Hello. Ow, hurt my leg doing that. I like accidentally pulled my muscle a little. Oops. Also, do you ever just get really annoying acne in the middle of your face? Like, your acne does not dictate your worth, but dang flabbit, is it annoying? Anyway, welcome to the Reaction Sleepover. This is where we get cozy and react to stuff. Today we're doing more Bridezillas and other Weddingzillas. Who's ready to have their blood pressure skyrocket? Me! I forgot to say, grab your cozies and snackies, and let's head on into it. Okay, bye. We are going to start off with a submission by one of you guys, which you can submit anytime. This is this a Guestzilla? For context, my wedding was in October 2021 after the vaccine was made, but quarantine was still pretty heavily in effect. On top of that, I am an extremely socially anxious person. Same. I'm very good with a camera in the comfort of my own home, but imagining being on like stage or something, sweating bullets. And I've performed on stage before. It's nerve-wracking being in front of like a crowd of people. So my husband and I just decided to have a very humble wedding in our backyard and our reception inside the house. Essentially same, dude. I was friends with someone in the Midwest who worked as a freelance artist. I live on the East Coast, and since we didn't have to spend a lot on the wedding, I wanted to be generous and pay for their plane ticket over here. That is very generous. She arrives and things get weird and snowball from there. I know you meant snowball in the like things, you know, the snowball effect, but I just imagine she just came in and started chucking snowballs at you. Thanks for the plane ticket, nice sucker. Nice throw. I'm sorry. I don't know why my mind immediately went there. When we had some downtime to get into the nearest city, they racked up a hefty bill on their credit card for someone who didn't have a lot of income. Did they now? I figured this was irresponsible, but didn't say anything about it. Our rehearsal dinner was just a few of the bridal party and said friend at my husband's and mine's favorite restaurant, since I figured it was rude to just leave him at home. Oh yeah, because I guess the practice dinner is typically with... We didn't do a practice dinner, so I don't know how that works, but like, do you normally just have like the party and family and stuff? But yeah, it makes sense to like, oh, I brought you out here, like, why not? Come along. Can practice with guests. On the car ride over, the friend constantly interrupted the other people in the car to talk about themselves and hand out business cards of their commission website. Okay, that's weird. It's really uncomfortable. Like, yikes, dude. Time and a place. Time and a place. I know you're excited to share your business, and that's not a bad thing. But time and a place. On top of that, upon learning that they wouldn't have to help chip in for the food bill, they ordered several appetizers without sharing the table. Ew! What? So they just ordered a bunch of food just for themselves, just because they knew they... Even if someone's paying for my food, I am still conscious of like, I don't want to rack up the bill. Are you kidding me? So they came in and chucked snowballs at you, and now they're just hoarding all the food on the one side of the table. This is mine, not touchy. And then there was the wedding itself. Oh, it doesn't end here, folks. As a gift, my friend offered to make me a painting in lieu of buying something for us, which, again, spend your money on whatever you want. But the painting doesn't even look like my husband and me. We wanted the painting placed on the drink table, and I didn't think this was a good idea in fear of it getting damaged, so I put it on a wall. This displeased them. We'll get back to this later. Oh, it does not stop there. I feel like that makes sense. You know, sometimes food gets messy, sometimes you accidentally knock over the water. Like, regardless of what something looks like, I would never want something to be damaged that someone made for me. So it's like, why not put it somewhere else? When I was getting my dress on and waiting for the ceremony to happen, they completely ignored me and took aside other guests that arrived early to help them get dressed and put on their makeup on while I was left uncomfortably alone. Wait, what? So you were putting on your dress and waiting for it to happen. They ignored you and took other guests that arrived early to help them get dressed and put on their makeup. Other guests? Wait. Like, yeah, guests should also get ready, but why are they, like, helping guests get ready and not you? I suppose, yeah, they're technically not obligated to, like, help you get ready or anything. Like, that is kind of like the party's thing, but why were they helping guests and completely ignoring you? That is weird behavior. Thankfully, the ceremony itself went really well, and the reception continues on. Back to the painting. My friend pulls as many people as they can aside to talk about the painting. Do you think this venue is your gallery? Excuse me. They made and hand out even more business cards and took a bunch of selfies for their Instagram. Okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking pride in your work, but like, why are you like specifically like taking people aside to be like, look at my painting. Isn't it beautiful? Here, take a selfie with me. Like, that's really strange. Like in the car, time and a place. Like, a more natural way to do that is someone be like, oh, I like this painting. Be like, thanks, I made it. And then, like, make it more natural. Don't just, like... Girl, what? Why are you, like, deliberately trying to pull people aside to look at your painting as if they're in some kind of gallery? Can you imagine if in a gallery, though, the artists were doing that? They're just standing there, just waiting to, like, physically pull people in. Welcome, dear sir. Enjoy my painting. That'd be so funny. And also horrifying. That would make me never want to go to a gallery, ever. Feels like they're just holding them hostage, getting them to look at their painting. Do you like my art? But yeah, like, shilling out their business cards at a wedding, that's weird, homie. Of just them, not the person they came here to see. On top of that, they overdrink and throw up in my basement. And I don't see them for the rest of the night. Wait, so they did all that. They took a bunch of selfies, forced people to come look at their painting, and then they just drink a lot and then throw up in your basement? Do they stay in the basement? What the heck? My husband, rightfully, I think, was well fed up with them at this point, and a few of the other guests commenting on their strange behavior. I was pretty embarrassed and felt a little responsible, considering it was my decision to invite them. Hold up, sweetheart. You are not responsible for their behavior. Like, it was very kind of you to, like, fly them out everything. Everything else was on them. It is not your problem that they don't know how to act like courteous human beings. Or gracious. Like, they're just, like, taking everything you're giving them. They're like, thanks! And then... Oh my gosh. Although it wasn't their obligation, they didn't offer in setting up or taking down decorations with the rest of the bridal party. They were content in hanging out in the guest room until I drove them back to the airport. Ew. Like you said, like, it's not... They're not obligated or anything, but it's like, considering you paid for their plane ticket and all of that, they should have been nice enough to at least help with something. It sounds like everything they did this entire time was to take things from you very quickly and not... Why would you... Why, when someone, like, is so gracious to you with something, why would you not want to repay them in some way? That's so weird. It was a relief to finally have them gone, and I was pretty exhausted after everything. And I was even more exhausted to discover that the room they were staying in had the mirrors turned around, and the picture frames that were already in there were taken off the walls and tucked in the closet? What did the M. Night Shyamalan? And the last straw, my toothbrush was missing. Gross. Is this their next art installation? Or they're building a shrine of you? Who knows? That's so weird. Mirrors turned around? Are they vampires? If someone walks in the room, they desperately don't want people to see that they have no reflection. Maybe that's why they act so weird. They've just lived for so long. As vampires, they just don't even know how to act anymore. They just let loose. They just don't care anymore. Since then, I've practically ghosted them after such strange behavior. All in all, the wedding was fun and I had a great time with the people that showed up, but she was the one black spot I can't rub off. Yeah. In answer to the question, I would say pretty Guestzilla. I mean, overall it seemed pretty mild, but they're just so like nothing, it seems like nothing really outrageous happened except maybe them throwing up. Like, that could be the most disrupting for the wedding, but just the way they acted the whole time, just ungracious to, like, all of the things you were providing them with, like paying for food, paying for their plane ticket, and like taking the time at the wedding. Oh, you know what? Them like shilling out their business during your wedding, that's really freaking weird, dude. I'd say that's pretty disruptive. So I take that back. It seems like they were pretty disruptive during your wedding, and all like before, during, and after, just all weird behavior all around. That's what? That is just utterly baffling. Sorry you had to deal with that. That's really weird. That just like feels like a fever dream almost. Anyway, thank you for the submission. Really appreciate that. Am I the a-hole for not staying in the hotel my sister wants us to for her wedding? My sister is getting married. She wants all of our family to stay in the same hotel that she is, but the hotel costs over $1,250. Which me and my husband cannot justify paying that much for one night. It's one night.
Goodbye, savings. I guess I didn't need you anyway.
That makes me wheeze. As we have other expenses to pay, i.e. rent. We have to live. My parents and siblings also cannot justify paying that much, so instead, after discussing with my sister, we booked a rental flat for all of us, which cost less than the price of one hotel room, 5-minute walk away. Is she going to have a problem with this? All was good, however, now I've been told on the down low that this really upset her since the groom side of the family are willing to pay and stay at the hotel. Good old comparison. You know, that shouldn't matter, because if your family can't afford it, don't expect them to do that. Good for them, they can afford to pay for the hotel room. My dude. Don't be entitled. Thank you for coming to my opera TED Talk. They only need 2 rooms, whereas we would need 4 rooms. Again, like, good for them. That doesn't mean we are any less valuable that we can't pay for it. Is this what you're telling me? Like, does she, like, feel embarrassed that her, I assume now husband's side of the family can pay for things? Over $1,000 stay for one night in a hotel room? That's so much. Assuming that these are all, like, regular people, you know, they're not royalty. How can you justify making people spend that much money for just a hotel room alone? Bleh, nay. Should I have considered her feelings of it being her once-in-a-lifetime wedding and just paid the money? Or am I the a-hole for taking this away from her? Edit, additional info cost is $12.50 per room. That's very sweet of you, that you feel like you're not considering her feelings. It's not okay to expect people to pay for things, especially something like that, when you can have a perfectly reasonable, like, rental thing that they did. That was a 5-minute walk away. Like, girl, please get your priorities straight. Would you rather them spend a stupid amount of money or be there? Unfortunately, for some people, they'd rather have the money spent, which is really sad. I can't imagine asking someone to spend that much money for a hotel room alone. No.
I will pay that money to leave the country so you can't find me.
That's honestly just really sad that people get so fixated on money
when that's not what this is about. Please stop.
Like, I want to be there for you, but you're making it very difficult. This is my Bridezilla story. So my ex-best friend, we'll call her Anna, she invited me to her wedding and I went, but the moment I got there, I realized how much of a disaster it was. Oh joy! Buckle up, everyone. She was screaming at the waiters, screaming at the bridesmaids, screaming at the groom, saying nothing is perfect. Screaming at everybody. Love that! She needs everything to be perfect, that they're ruining her wedding and how old they were trying to show off and be better than her and all this other BS. Oh, girl, please take a breath. Like, yes, weddings are stressful. Does not give you a pass to be a turd bucket. And I walked in and she's like, oh, you're here, about time. And I was like, all right, girl, don't talk to me like that. I will rock right back out of this. Rock. I assume she meant walk. I like to imagine she's just like, I will morph into a rock and I will roll out of here. So long, wench. I will rock right back out of this wedding. And she starts screaming at me, saying I was selfish and how she needed me.
The whiplash, homie.
But if I was going to be like that, I could just leave saying how I'm a B word, you're a C word, saying I ruined her wedding by being a B word. Girl! Who hurt you? Oh, it does not need to be like this. I was like, girl, I barely just got here and you're already screaming at everyone. And then she started screaming at the waiters again, saying they got the wrong champagne. Oh, they're just doing their job. Oh my gosh. Don't yell at the poor workers. The poor things are just standing there with the wrong champagne. Just like, I'm just doing my job. Oh, I want to give him a hug. I want to give everyone who she's yelling at a hug. Really, she needs a hug. Badly. And that they're doing their job wrong and that she's not going to pay them unless they do their job right. My soul wants peace, love, and plants, but my inner goblin declares winch! And I was like, is she seriously going on like this? Does she really expect anyone to want to be at her wedding when she's acting like a bridezilla? It's insulting. Feelings are valid. Taking them out on people is not okay. And after that, I just walked right out of the wedding and blocked her on everything. Sounds like you really needed to. Oh, wah. Yes, please protect your peace. It sounds like she wants to hack away at it with a chainsaw. Dude, this says, picture this, a Guestzilla announcing her pregnancy at her cousin's wedding who is struggling to conceive. No, please say it ain't so. Please tell me no. She did not do that. She did not do that. My fiance, 29, and I, 31 male, just found out that we're pregnant. My fiance mentioned that she wanted to wait to announce it at her cousin's wedding, which will be taking place on Sunday. So she's planning for this. Her cousin and her husband have been struggling getting pregnant, even with IVF or the tons of others. Peace, love, and plans, peace, love, and plans, peace, love, and plans, peace, love. How in the world can you justify wanting to announce your pregnancy when you know they're struggling? That is so insensitive. She cannot be doing this with good intentions. She is purposefully planning on announcing it at the wedding. Tell me the reasoning of why you want to do this.
Tell me!
Recently, they just got some news that their insurance has stopped funding IVF. And not to mention the heartbreak of a recent miscarriage on Mother's Day. They almost understandably held off on the wedding. So when my fiance brought it up to me, I told her it's not at all a good idea. How can you know all that and then want to announce at their wedding? Girl, yikes. Girl, yikes. This just seems so wrong, especially it being at their wedding. I asked if she's going to at least ask her cousin for permission. And she said no because she wanted it to be a surprise for everyone. Are you just purposefully being dense? Why? I told her it's not the time nor the place for that, and that it would take the spotlight off the couple. It would be way different if you had the kind of wedding where you had the permission of the couple to, announce it. I remember there was a story I read where, there was a plan for that, unfortunately fell through, but, if you do something like that, it can be nice. But no, you just want to take the spotlight away from them? And the fact that they struggle to conceive? Girl! In her family, there hasn't been a baby in 3 years, so we'd be the first in that time. It's I get you're excited, but can you read the room, please? Are you just purposefully not reading the room? Fiancé feels that's the perfect time because it's such a joy, and it's not like she can keep it away forever, and their problem shouldn't keep her from telling something so positive, so it's on them if they turn it negative. I told her that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is you want to take someone else's event, someone else's wedding, someone else's happy moment, and you're trying to make it about you. Not to mention the fact that they struggle to conceive, hence that was the reason why they they didn't hold off the wedding, but they considered holding off the wedding because of that. Girl, no.
Desist! Desist from this!
And just the whole, it's not my fault if they make it negative. That's so inconsiderate.
How do people like this exist?
She knows what they've been through, and she's being selfish if she actually goes through with that. She cried and claimed I wasn't being supportive, and I shouldn't be calling my pregnant fiance selfish. Pregnancy doesn't absolve you from selfish behavior. Okay. Here's the thing. Everyone is capable of selfish behavior. We are all capable of hurting people. When you go out of your way to still hurt someone and not have any remorse for it, that's wench behavior, my dude. Why would you want to do that? I can't imagine being this tone deaf and not care. Girl, you're being messy. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean that you are incapable of still being selfish or being a bad person. Please don't. My goodness. She doesn't want me to come with her to the wedding anymore either, feeling as if I would kill the mood.
Ironic.
She doesn't want you to go with her so that she can just do it. Oh. She hasn't been talking to me either. Edit. So about my fiance and her cousin's relationship. My fiance always saw competition in her cousin because her cuz would be better at some things than her. Ah, there it is. There it is. There's the insecurity. And insecurity doesn't give you any excuse to be a turd of a human. Comparison is so hard. I totally get that. But oh my gosh, dude, you cannot just want to tear her down just because she's better than you at some things. And that's completely based on perception. Like, oh my gosh, why would you want to take this away from her? And the utter, like, she knows that, like, announcing her pregnancy at someone's wedding when they are struggling to conceive, she knows what she's going through and she doesn't care because she's so blinded by insecurity. She wants to purposefully hurt her poor cousin. Oh, the rage I feel is red hot. It's like I almost just feel bad for her too because she's just so blinded by her hatred that she doesn't care that it's going to hurt her cousin's feelings and just entire being. I just can't even imagine being this selfish and being okay with it since they were kids, and she hates that. Last year they had an argument about it because fiance felt her cuz bragged too much. Or my fiance also mentioned there was one thing her cuz wasn't good at, but never said what it was. So in shorter terms, the relationship is in between good and bad. I don't know, man. It sounds so toxic. It sounds so bad. Your fiance clearly has so much resentment towards her cousin that she is willing to legitimately overshadow her on her wedding day. You know, there are many stories where brides feel like, oh, you're taking my spotlight, when that is not the case. This is the case. This is the case where she has every right to be upset at you taking her spotlight and purposefully announcing something that you know she struggles with. I can't freaking get over that. Ah! Your insecurities are not her responsibility. But her cuz wanted to invite her to the wedding, I'm guessing to rekindle that. Oh my gosh. I sincerely hope you reconsider being with this person. She is clearly struggling with so much to the point where she clearly wants to overshadow her cousin at her own wedding and with news that would hurt her feelings. Resolve thy trauma. Hope you all enjoyed the tomfoolery for today. I hope you're doing well, but if not, I hope this video has brightened your day at least a little bit. And that is it for this time. Remember, if you have any submissions, let me know. Please, for the love of everything that is good and right in this world, be a good human, because it is not worth the fallout you will experience. Goodness gracious. And remember that you're awesome. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.